Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Dave Hoffman, and today I want to talk about the basics of supply chain and what the links look like within a supply chain. So let's dive into it, okay? So you have companies that will manufacture or sell product, okay? Well, how does it all start and how is it all interconnected, okay? So you go all the way back to the beginning, right? In order to manufacture that product or make that product, you need raw materials, okay? So when they order those raw materials and they come into the plant, it now becomes inventory. And inventory is another link in the supply chain. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But again, this is a type of inventory now that you have sitting in there. In order to source those raw materials, you have individuals that work in procurement. And all that simply means is these individuals will go out, they will talk to these various suppliers, and they will negotiate, pricing, terms, quantities, all of that, okay? So that is your first link of the supply chain. Second link is production. So, right, you brought the materials into the warehouse, now it's time to produce them. Well, how do you know what you're gonna produce, right? So you have two functions within production that I like to call, right? You have supply planners and demand planners. And very simply how that works is the supply planners understand what needs to be produced. So all they're simply doing is they're making sure, do they have the correct raw materials in-house to produce what downstream customers are asking for. The demand planners, right, they've taken the forecast from the customers, they've looked at this and helped with the production schedule and say, hey, these are the customers that have placed orders, this is what we're gonna produce, and they all work together. So that's your second link, which is the production piece, okay? Third link is inventory, right? And we talked about it down here, but now when you finish producing your products, now we have what's called finished product or inventory that's finished, all right? And that's gonna be getting ready, or that is ready to move on out of the manufacturing plant to the customer, whether it's to a distribution center or if it's picked up from the manufacturer to go to the final customer, okay? And within inventory, and I'm not gonna break down every type of strategy, but we've talked about it in the past about just-in-time inventory, JIT. So you have some companies where they keep just enough to keep their production lines running. They keep just enough finished product to satisfy customer orders. They don't want to have extra products sitting around because it works, it ties up working capital and it costs them money, okay? Or what they've done too is some of these customers, they've strategically set up economic order quantities. And all that simply means is they have minimum order requirements that their customers have to place. So they might say our minimum order quantity is 2 pallets, 4 pallets, whatever it is. They have this so they can be a little bit more structured and a little bit more planned and precise in what type of inventory they need. So that's your third link, okay? And the last link is the distribution piece. And how that works is once that inventory comes into a warehouse, or if it's finished in the manufacturing warehouse, it's going to go off to the customer for the final mile. That's the last leg of the delivery to get where it has to go. So within this link of distribution, you have the warehousing piece and the logistics piece, okay? So a very simple overview of the links in the supply chain, and what you have to take into consideration is each one of these links will not work if they're missing. They all rely on each other. So let's just say, for example, if you can't get raw materials in to produce, you can't produce. You have no inventory and you can't distribute it to the customers, right? How about back to COVID when we had supply chain issues and raw materials were difficult to source. Transportation was difficult to source. So now you had issues on both ends of the supply chain, okay? You had all these orders coming in. They couldn't produce, companies couldn't produce fast enough. They didn't have enough inventory, and it just created this imbalance. And so again, it's just one of those situations where without these links all working together in conjunction, they need each other. So again, I hope this is a very simple overview of how supply chain works in the links. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and thanks for checking out my channel, guys.